So I just came to you with an article about gas prices going up due to OPEC not producing the amount of oil that the market, and I'm assuming this is the Western market, they assumed they would produce so many gallons or barrels of oil, and OPEC did not. Therefore, what they did produce, they produced less oil, and the oil that they produced has a higher value, therefore a higher price. So this is why we're seeing higher, you may notice that you have higher gas prices wherever you are. That's worldwide. If it's not affecting you yet, it probably will soon. We are in a very popular driving season, the summer, and it may just get worse as we go into the fall and winter because people will be using heat to warm themselves inside their cars, and it takes longer to warm your car up when it's colder outside. But besides that, I also wanted to discuss the quality of the gasoline, which can also affect your driving experience, meaning that that could affect the increased price because you have to pay more when the quality goes down. A feature of having ethanol in gas is you have, I think, reduced quality. And I can show you here when I go back to the search engine, Google, of other articles or studies that have been done discussing this. One particular study from Nature, which is a very popular science website, caught my eye. Nature is reputable around the world for their studies on various topics. One here is that ethanol fuels ozone pollution. So I just came to you recently with an article that showed air pollution and its contribution to diabetes risk. So people who experience more air pollution are more likely to exhibit symptoms of diabetes or be diagnosed with diabetes. Aside from diet, that is very scary to admit, even in a scientific report. So the shifts in use between petrol and ethanol in Sao Paulo's cars creates a unique atmospheric chemistry experiment. This was published in 2014, as you can see, and this is a picture of the smog in Sao Paulo, Brazil. If I didn't know it was Brazil, I would assume it was somewhere in LA. It looks like maybe early morning. Yeah, this is pretty much how LA looks. If you look down on a city, even San Fernando Valley looks this way if you're standing up on the mountain or on a hill, going for a hike, or even driving up a hill and you look back at the city. This is what you will see. You can literally see the separation between the city and the sky, and the smog is unbearable. They say here running vehicles on ethanol rather than petrol can increase ground level ozone pollution, according to a study of fuel use in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Ozone, or called O3, is a major urban pollutant that can cause severe respiratory problems. So I talked about respiratory issues that people are having out here, and it's becoming worse and worse. There are a lot of people walking around who have had to go to urgent care or their primary care physician, emergency rooms even. People have collapsed. People have had all types of breathing issues, eye issues, and sinus congestion. Even I'm having it right now, and I've only been outside for a couple hours. They say it can form when sunlight triggers chemical reactions involving hydrocarbons and nitrogen oxides, or NOx. So the X stands for 2, 3. It can vary, that number can vary. And those are emitted by vehicles. Ethanol has been promoted as a green fuel because its combustion tends to produce lower emissions of carbon dioxide, or CO2, hydrocarbons, and NOx than petrol. But the impact on air quality of a wholesale transition from petrol to ethanol has been difficult to assess, with different atmospheric chemistry models predicting a variety of consequences. And they go through, they have this article published in Nature Geoscience, which unpacks what happened when the motorists of Sao Paulo, the largest city in the southern hemisphere, suddenly changed their fuel habits. I'm not going to go into detail about this, but I'm going to come down to the bottom where they discuss the researchers say that their method of combining disparate data sets to tease out the effects of fuel changes could now be used in other cities. Geiger acknowledges that Sao Paulo is the best case scenario in terms of data availability, but hopes to apply the same method to Chicago, Illinois, which might enable his team to predict the impact of a major shift to vehicles powered by electricity or natural gas, for example. And by uncovering the real-world impact of fuel changes in Sao Paulo, the researchers have provided a useful test bed for air pollution models, says Madronic. If a model cannot reproduce these results, he says, that's a problem for the model. It's a problem for everyone, because when you can't breathe, nothing else matters. So here are the references that they give from Nature Geoscience, 2 of them from Salvo et al. And Madronic at, I believe, he's by himself, Madronic. So, yeah. This is indicating that ethanol may not only fuel ozone pollution, but it affects the quality of the gasoline as well, because even though it burns differently than petrol, it's affecting the air, and to me that is affecting quality. So let me know what you think in the comment section, and I may come back with another video just to give more information. I'm going to go back to my search engine, Google. I just typed in ethanol and gas affecting quality. So there's a couple articles. There's one here from Digital Trends in 2016. It's more recent, that talks about the truth about ethanol and gasoline. So at that time, 97% of U.S. gasoline contains ethanol. I'm sure it's closer to 100 by now, maybe about 98, 99%. So yeah, they have articles here talking about this issue. But you all let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll leave a link to that article here in the description box, and I'll talk to you soon.